Lefty says, what's your opinion on the RTS's Dying thing? You saw a video today from Downward Thrust. Don't know who that is. You don't know how credible he is. RTS is not dying. Dying doesn't mean anything. Dying is a really vague fucking term. So no matter what, you're always going to end up having to actually define some things and make, you know, there's always going to be a semantic argument back and forth. So for me, dying means something's fucking dead, right? It is bleeding on the ground. It's going to be gone from this existence. Maybe if you're religious, you believe in an afterlife. Maybe there's like your whole theory of what game dying means. Oh, it's going to heaven soon. Like it's not as present, but it's still around. I'm not particularly religious. You guys can believe whatever you want, but I think when we talk about dying, we mean something's fucking gone, right? Once it's dead. So will strategy games ever be gone? No. So basically, look, RTS is actually awesome, and when it's well made, it's beautiful and amazing and great. Okay, so let's make a comparison. Let's talk about Hollywood quickly. Let's talk about how amazing most Hollywood blockbusters, because I feel like once Hollywood got big enough, they realized, you know, there's so much money and you're spending hundreds of millions of dollars in years making a film. They said, you know what, we're going to make some real artistic and unique films. For me, I would say the perfect example of this is The Fast and the Furious, which for me transcended art to a whole new level of creativity, beauty, and it spoke to me as a person. And I think it's actually helped define who I am and how I've evolved as a human. So for me, when something gets more bigger and popular, I feel like you do actually get more kind of niche, nuanced, artistic creations, right? So I think it's the same with games. We're going through that process now where if you look at it, Call of Duty 36 just came out, and I think it just broke the barrier between reality and games. Like, it was so good and so perfect that I feel like there's no difference anymore. Like, it is actually better than real life. And I just feel like at this point, video games have hit that point where they are creating art so well. And strategy games clearly can't keep up because they're a little bit too mass-produced. They appeal to the masses. They're all about, casual playing with friends, so it's easy to get into. A lot of them are free to play. And because of that, there's no barrier to entry, and it makes it hard for people to get into it. So I feel like at the moment we're really looking at games evolving to that next level, and it's the Fast and the Furious era of gaming that we're entering. So that's why strategy games aren't as popular as they used to be. That's my rant. You're like, I asked a serious question. I've never played strategy games. I really don't like explaining my jokes, so I feel like it stops being a joke when you have to explain it. Oh no. I'm like, how do I do? Okay, so I'll give you a quick answer, Lefty. Strategy games are generally more in-depth and complicated than other games. They are therefore more niche in their appeal. Same way, there's some really good comedians out there who are like amazing, and they usually don't have as much mass appeal as like an Adam Sandler making jokes about his balls. I love Adam Sandler, by the way. I didn't even mind Adam Sandler's last stand-up on Netflix. I actually thought it was pretty funny. But I'm just saying, like, you're always gonna have the guy talking about his balls. It's gonna appeal to more people than the more niche stuff. So strategy games in general are like that. Now, the reason a lot of the people in the gaming community, this is my theory, I know it's not proven, I don't have evidence or facts, they're like, because there aren't big studios making $300 million strategy games, therefore RTS games are dead. And I just look at that and I say, well, I think you need a different word than dead. I think I agree with you, they are not as popular as other games. And games go through cycles. MOBAs were the hot thing. Now it's battle royales at the moment. Goes around, whatever the hot thing is. Card games for a while there with Hearthstone. But the RTS genre in general, there's lots of games. There are games still being made. Not as many as we'd like. But a lot of people are like, RTS is dying. It's disappearing. It's just a bit more of a niche number of people that are into it. People are like, but RTS used to be the most dominant gaming. And I'm like, that's because gaming used to be a lot more for nerds. Don't get me wrong. I knew a lot of people who weren't mega geeks growing up who gamed. But like in general, the people who are making games were small companies, small groups of nerdy people who grew up playing fucking D&D and other you know, hardcore nerd shit, it's natural they made more hardcore games. And that's why it was so popular, is because all the best games were RTS games. At the same time, even if you go back to the heyday of RTS with Brood War and Warcraft 3 and all these other games, not many people played 1v1 ladders. Not many people played competitive. A lot of people played the campaign and then stopped playing it. And they maybe went back and replayed the campaign. A lot of people used cheat codes because they couldn't even get through. It's just, even back then in the heyday of RTS, do you know how hard it was when I was at a packed internet cafe with 50 people there to find someone to 1v1 me in StarCraft 1 or Warcraft 3? It was nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. I could occasionally find one person out of 50. And this is when these games were at their height. So what does that tell you? It tells you that it's naturally a more niche thing. It's a more hardcore pursuit, somewhere between chess, tennis, golf. You know, it's not your fucking football stadium filled of chanting fans, and not as many people choose to go and play it on a Saturday morning. Whereas a lot more will go play football well into their adulthood of a Saturday morning, right? That's my rant about strategy games and explaining. And I'm actually going to save this and put it on YouTube so I can just have a command in chat and link this the next 26 times people ask me this question. So if you guys disagree, let me know. We can always have a bit of a chat about it. Those are my opinions. I do wish RTS had 500 million. I wish we had a $500 million budget RTS come out every year. Don't get me wrong. I'd be all for it. But at the same time, RTS is just a more hardcore genre. And you know what? Not that many people enjoy the fucking 20-year aged whiskey or the wine that's been in a cellar from 1870. But if you've got the fucking refined taste for it, it's the best thing in the world. And I'm okay to be in kind of the smaller company of the nerds. Most of the people I meet in the StarCraft community are people I really get on with because they're just very passionate about the game. They love the game. And you end up with, rather than people who are just playing because it's just the thing people are doing, almost everyone you run into in the StarCraft community has some deep-seated enjoyment and passion with the game. Whether they play a lot or they watch a lot and they just enjoy the watching side. I have a lot of friends in real life as well who they're like, oh, I watch Florencio Files and GSL, you know. But they've got this love for enjoying it and they love watching the action and they have their favorite players and that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's just a badass game. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this explains, is RTS dying? Thank you for clicking on the clickbait, by the way. Sorry for all the clickbait titles lately, guys. I am a piece of shit. Thanks for the support on the Patreon. Info's down below in the YouTube description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. See you guys next time.